So we are live. So we had some
short delay.
we had some technical issues from our side. So apologies for that, for the delay. So welcome everybody. We are super excited that we are organizing this webinar and that we are launching the app builder with you. And so, yeah, we had the intention to wait a few minutes before everybody was joining. So we already spent a few minutes on the technical issues, but we resolved that. But something that we definitely want to ask you is, you joining the webinar, could you maybe share who you are, what your job is, and where you're from, so that we can have some interaction as well. So as I mentioned, that we're super excited. I also want to ask Stijn, why are you so excited about what we are doing today?
Yeah, cool. Well, first of all, I'm happy that we are still in the meeting. So I think, the people did a really nice job by fixing this super quickly. I'm really excited about that we are finally going public with this development. So it's been, we've been working on Victor already for quite some time, for about 8 years. But I think in the beginning of the year, we started with developing the app builder. It was, I think, we called it a big bet. So we were, we felt we were really enthusiastic, but also we felt like, okay, can we, get this done? And the fact that we are now at the moment of, sharing this publicly and showing what it can do, makes me really proud and really excited about this moment.
Cool. Okay, so while people are still are added to the webinar, I'm not sure if already people have. Okay, Marco, nice to meet you. You're from Italy. Great. Lesego, into innovation, AI and automation. Great. Martijn Rog, BIM, regisseur JP van Eesteren. Nice to have you in this webinar, Martijn. From Norway, great to have people from Norway as well. So let's from Houston, great. So we also have a very nice customer from our side, from ETTL, was also from that region. So that's nice. Also from Paris, happy to have you as well from Paris. So let's continue with the webinar. So, of course, already Stijn shared already his enthusiasm about the launch. So Stijn is our CPO, and next to Stijn is Raoul, who is the product manager within Victor. And I'm Peter, and the CEO of Victor. So what we will be discussing today during the webinars, we'll give a short introduction about Victor and why we start building the app builder. Stijn will be giving a live demo, and together with Raoul, we'll do the technical explanation about what's happening on the background when making the apps in the demo. We will also be sharing some practical use cases from Jimmy, in particular from ETTL from the US, from David from Systra from the UK, and Sam from B2 Architects from the Netherlands. And we also have a special guest, Jordana, and she's a BIM manager of WSP. She will be joining us live, and we'll having a chat together with Stijn to make those applications live. So you will also be seeing a QR code. Will be shown on the screen. Yeah, there we are. So that's really nice. So please use this QR code, subscribe, and you'll get the examples a few days after the webinar, so that you can use the examples that we had in the webinar, and you can also subscribe for using the app builder yourself. So something that I definitely want to emphasize is please ask questions throughout the webinar such that we can answer them and have a lively discussion. So before we, and the last thing that I want to do, sorry, I got a sort of a response.
Victor team.
Oh, Victor team, yeah. So that's something. There's also somebody helping us on the background. So, but it's something that we'll share afterwards. So first I do the introduction about Victor. So a bit of a background of Victor. So why did we start Victor? And it's also always from personal stories. So my personal experience, and it's something that is being shared amongst many old colleagues within our company, is working as an engineer. You know that there are a lot of manual tasks being done, and that your skills are not leveraged to the full potential. So what we and you feel as well, that there's a lot that you can gain and can be proved. But the context, working as an engineer, doesn't allow you to do so, because there's maybe limited time or skills to automate your work. So, and within Victor, we have the ambition to fix this. And that led us to have, or formulate, the mission that we have is to empower all engineers to automate workflows fast and distribute those workflows easily. So we started with this mission 8 years ago, that you should be able to build applications by means of Python, connect those with other software packages, and that you have a platform that enables you to share those applications easily around the globe, always having engineering at the core of our DNA. So throughout those 8 years, we have built up endless amount of use cases, success cases, from small applications to big applications being used amongst the biggest projects around the globe. So the question is, why isn't every engineer making automations, making those tools? It boils again down to the lack of time and skills. There's always the typical project pressure. Maybe you have to be billable, or maybe you have those lacking skills to maybe write Python yourself. So, and this drastically has changed throughout the last years. So the combination of large language models in combination with what we have built with Victor throughout the 8 years have removed the barrier to start building tools for as every engineer. So from now on, what we will be releasing or launching today is that every engineer can make applications, connect them, and share them by means of a platform in a safe way. So, as I mentioned, we will do some live demoing together with Stijn, together with Raoul. But before doing so, I really would like to thank our clients that have supported us for many years, provided us with very valuable feedback. I also we would like to thank the beta users that have supported us throughout the last month, the hundreds of beta users. And last but not least, we also would like to thank the team that have contributed to to building this powerful platform. So thank you all. It's definitely a very nice day to celebrate the things that we have achieved so far. So yeah, let's continue partying after the lunch. The launch. So let's move to Stijn.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's do the demo. Yeah. So this is always a really exciting moment to show the app builder live. Well, this is it. Basically, what you can see over here is the Victor platform. And when you log in, so via the QR code which is provided, either maybe you already are at a customer, so you have a company environment where you can try it out, or you can create just a free account and you can try out the app builder in our free version as well. So basically, when you log in, you see the screen where you can start to create an app. So well, I have an engineering background myself. It's always nice that I can show it while, let's say, the development team who's now at the table you just saw, they did, of course, all the magic behind it. But let's start with classical engineering example. I think all engineers learn somewhere. Simply supported Beam. So what I can do, I can just add this prompt. And what I now ask is create an app that shows the visualizations of the maximum bending moment and shear force for simply supported beam. Raoul, maybe you can explain a bit what's happening now on the background.
Yeah, so this prompt is now sent to the Victor platform. First, it will be acknowledged by the AI assistant. And you will enter sort of a brainstorming phase, or like a phase where the assistant helps you out to really create a spec for your app. So what are the inputs you're looking for? What kind of visualization would you like to see? Because probably if you've used ChatGPT before, you know that if your prompt is more specific, the result will probably be better than when it's very vague. So therefore, we have sort of this brainstorming phase before you actually sort of start generating any app for you, to really sort of hammer it down, and you can also iterate a bit on this spec. So if it's not completely to your liking, you can just say, okay, I want to show displacements, for example, instead of bending moments.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I now, so I think the prompt was indeed quite smart. Or short, so it made it a lot more explicit. Saying, okay, what are the inputs that you want to show? I think this is already quite cool, right? So basically, this is where really you see the power of these large language models. That it knows, okay, you want to give him the beam length. It, came up with himself that I want to either add point loads or distributed loads. So I just hit start building. And what's happening now in the background, Raoul?
Yeah, so this spec is now again sent to the agent, together, of course, with Victor-specific context. So how should a Victor app be structured? What kind of components can you use, etc., etc. And with all that information, basically, we generate like an app that fits that specification for you. Takes a few seconds, of course, so that's why you are waiting now a bit. But here you already see the resulting app appearing on your screen. This app is actually already sort of running on our platform, with the code behind it just completely still modifiable by the user or by means of just talking to Victor.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so always I'm amazed when it actually works. So I see here I have an app over here. I can add multiple point loads. I can add distributed loads. Probably if you are an engineer, first question is what you probably have is, okay, what's happening behind the scenes, right? Because I think it's really engineering like to think to basically first thing is that you probably don't trust it until you can check it. So I see I can open the code over here. So Raoul, can you explain a bit more what I can see over here?
Yeah, definitely. So basically what you are seeing here is all the app code required to generate this app. So the Victor software development kit is a Python library that contains all kinds of building blocks in order to make creating those apps very easy, but also it sort of abstracts a lot of the things you would normally need to do in traditional web development away, and just brings it back down to a line of Python code. For example, if you want to show a number field, it's just one single line of Python. And because of this, it's also quite concise. It's very easy to check, and basically the only thing you can focus on really sort of the engineering logic that is required to generate these plots for you.
Hey, in the meantime, I think it's nice as a follow-up prompt. We have a question from Frederik. So can you ask in this demo to add a point moment?
Yeah.
And also allow it to update the end constraints. So the Frederik is definitely a structural engineer.
Yeah, definitely.
So in the meantime that you're writing a prompt, Raoul, it's what I mentioned in the beginning as in the introduction, that we have been working on Victor for 8 years, developed all kinds of building blocks. So you can see, and I'm not sure if you scroll down in the total amount of lines of code. So we're talking about 233 lines of code. So what kind of impact does it have on using LLMs where you're talking about this volume of number of code?
Well, so often when you talk about vibe coding or just using generative AI to generate code in general, I think it will really depend on how much code you need to generate, right? So the more you need to generate, the higher there's the probability that something goes wrong along the way is bigger. And what we have done at Victor is that we have abstracted a lot of all these basically sort of very web development specific things away, and sort of the app code that you need to write in order to create a Victor app is only on your logic and basically how you want to structure your app. So that makes it very concise, very readable, and also a lot more easy to check because it's just checking the engineering logic behind it, basically.
Cool. Yeah, and I think that's a good answer to the question from a LinkedIn user. So hi, LinkedIn user. how is this different from other AI app development engines like Lovable? So our vision is having a specific focus on engineers. So that can be a structural engineer, geotechnical engineer, a water engineer, environmental engineer. It can be a BIM coordinator. So we specifically focused throughout those many years in helping those engineers to automate their work. And because of that, we have this extensive library leading to a much lower volume of code. And of course, additionally, all kinds of integrations, which will be presented in some live coding in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah. So can you edit the app front end like graphic design? Yeah, so I think that's also a good question. So maybe first coming back to I added a prompt.
Frederik's question.
Frederik's questions. Yeah, so what it basically did is that I can now add point moments as well at a certain position. So it did that well, and also I can change the support type, and basically, so I don't know, of course, for sure if this is actually correct. So for that reason, of course, I can dive into the code, but you can see that it changes it, and you can also see, I think that's also what I really like is, okay, what has been changed compared to the next iteration. So as you can see, it added a few more inputs so that it can add the support type and the point moments, and also in the logic, it basically added more logic to calculate all the calculations of the bending moments, etc.
Yeah, maybe we have to wrap up, I think, the demo part.
Yeah.
Because we lost a bit of time due to some technical challenges. But it's important to emphasize is because you said you have to look into the code to check if things are correct.
Yeah.
So there's definitely something that we want to emphasize. It's an assistant that helps you to make and to understand automation.
Yeah.
You can directly build something, but eventually having the right governance or let's say approval flows and code verification is still very important, and that's something that we of course help with doing so.
Indeed. Yeah. So maybe one last thing to show is also what helps in this process. So what you can basically do is once you are at a point with an app that you think, okay, let's see if maybe I can get some feedback or get a review, you can publish the app. And then you can basically invite other people to your app to check it out and to get a feedback and also verify and validate your app. So that's the step what you can take when you hit publish.
Cool. So I think that's the part for the demo. So we will move towards some practical use cases from our users, our clients. And after that, we will invite Jordana on the podium, where we do some live conversation in on-demand app building. So let's move towards the client.
My name is Sam Holle. I'm a architectural draftsman BIM coordinator at B2 Architects, a Dutch architectural firm.
I'm David Schweitzer. I'm a JS manager at Systro UK, and I'm a part of the UK Innovation and Improvement team.
We put holes in the ground for any structure. We bring soil samples back and we perform a laundry list of different tests to tell our clients what's in the ground.
We came up with a couple of nice challenges, let's say. And one of those challenges was getting a lot of open data maps and being able to export it to one single format so we could use it in all the different sort of drawing software we use.
Can someone with limited coding experience go in and create a working app that produces the expected result? And basically what we arrived at that is that yes, it is possible, it is doable, and we are working with it so far.
Or what was the most fun for us was to actually get an export in one single format. You don't need any technical skills. You can just open this application, pick your site, and just get all the data you want from it in 3-4 clicks maybe, instead of going to 10 different sites.
We were able to come up with this app and deliver it to the team on the same day we got the request, which is a very, very much faster turnaround than if we went in and coded it by hand.
Well, I just want to say that building with the app builder has been quite fun and quite a teachable moment. Not just because the app builder builds all my applications, but also because it teaches you how to build the applications and tells you why it does certain things.
This platform and what it provides, and that is this huge blessing to actually come across Peter and Victor, because now we can take advantage of things that originally were never possible or conceivable, would possibly be a better word.
And then with the app builder, I think it was the next step forward, which was we can now put this in the hands of people with limited development experience or no development experience, and have them providing creating their own solutions.
So thank you, Jimmy, David, and Sam for providing those insights in your practical use cases. So now we will invite Jordana to the podium. So hopefully this, happy to see you, Jordana. So you have to unmute yourself.
I'm happy it worked. We had some technical issues in the last minute, but that's part of any live experience. So I'm happy it worked.
Cool.
Well,
so
nice
so
to meet
happy.
you all.
Yeah, nice to have you here, Jordana. So what I already mentioned in the beginning, you're a BIM manager from WSP. As I understood correctly, you're at the moment in Brazil. Is that correct? Yeah. So it would be nice. So you will have a conversation with Stijn about making a particular app that you have in mind. But before diving into that, maybe it's good to have a short introduction from your side. So what you're up to and what you're doing at WSP.
Okay. Before I introduce myself, I'm going to introduce this entire situation. I think 2 weeks ago, this guy sent me a message on LinkedIn. They invited me to be on stage, and I was like, I don't even know Victor. And they were, yeah, that's what we want. And I was like, these guys really trust their product, because they would not bring me in if the product was not good, because I have a struggle of criticizing apps and really evaluating things. So I was, these guys know what they're selling. So basically, they sent me this invitation. I'm Jordana de Castro Rosa. I'm a BIM manager. I came from the AEC industry. I was born in this industry, went through all the disciplines that I can think about, worked in different countries. Today in Brazil, I'm from Brazil, but right now I live in Atlanta and I work for WSP. We do projects, MEP projects for data centers. And about 3 years ago, I joined my first hackathon. And that's when I put my feet on development of tools. At the time, I remember, before the hackathon, we had to spend days of research trying to find the code that would be the basis of our solution. 1 year later, I went to my second hackathon. And in this hackathon, we had a team of 3. It was at Autodesk University, a team of 3 people. And for the codes, we used ChatGPT. Of course, it was not great. We had to fix and solve things, and was a copy and paste from here, sent to there. We were using Dynamo at the time. And about 1 month ago, I went to my third hackathon. Thanks God we won everything. We have a great path with hackathons.
Congratulations, Jordana.
Yes, great team always. And in this last hackathon, the capabilities of AI were way more impressed. I don't think we had to solve things in the code, but still we struggle a lot copying and paste things from one spot to another. We use at least 5 different applications, and that's friction. That's definitely friction that we want to avoid, especially in these projects that we don't have time. We're talking about hackathons that we need to develop a tool from scratch and prove that's working in 6 hours with small teams. Typically, we have 6 or 4 members in the team. So especially experience these things with hackathon, I'm always looking for things that will reduce the friction. We want to be more efficient and reduce clicks the most that we can. After this hackathons, I also had my experience starting a startup. I had my own tool, which was inspired in the products that we got in the hackathons. I created EcoCraft, which is an app for Revit. And this app basically connects with a carbon database that brings information about carbon into my elements in Revit. But to get it created, I had support. It took long months. And since I got my phase 1 done, I had the phase 2 in mind. But of course, I had to have the resources to pay my team, to get things deployed. And I would say that I have at least 8 months with phase 2 in mind. And basically for phase 2, what I wanted to have is, since I already have the carbon information in my elements in Revit, and let's say a steel beam, I already have the carbon information there, but I wanted to get the totals of the project, and I will not achieve that only in Revit. So I wanted to create a web-based app that would extract the information from my beam model, from my Revit, and give me insights. You can imagine such a Power BI. I also wanted to have a viewer, and I also had the dream to have cost. I know that cost is very challenging in our industry, but cost was the goal here. Cost, carbon, and then the visualization. And the special dream to have it in the web was to allow other people in the industry, even the ones that don't know how to use Revit, to have access to this data to take insights from there. And I have been planning this app for at least a month now, and I would say that I every day go to bed thinking about how am I going to raise resources to pay my team, to make it happen, and how we're gonna make it efficient. It has been a challenge, and I can't solve these problems myself. I know the problem, I have the idea how to go, but I'm not an expert in coding. I can't code by myself. I can't go there and deploy a app by myself. And I know there are solutions out there. There are Cursor, there are Lovable. People has been talking about that. The problem is, even using this AI to assist us in coding, these AIs are generical. They're not looking at
Jordana, just one question. I'm not sure if the audio is maybe your microphone is. Could you maybe position it maybe a bit different? And yeah.
Is it better?
Jordana, if it's okay for you, because I think it's nice to that I already start a bit of prompting in the meantime, because sometimes you have to wait for the app builder. And if it's okay for you, then I can already, based on the information that you gave, start the prompt. And then we can continue the conversation. So let me just to summarize quickly. Of course, so just as we had a short chat yesterday before, so let's just dive in. So I think the first thing to get back from you is, okay, what do we want to achieve, or what do you want to achieve, is to extract this information from a Revit model. So let's just start with the first step. Create an app in which I can select a Revit model from ACC and visualize it. Okay, so let's just start with that prompt, and in the meantime, please continue to finish your story.
Yeah. By the way, yesterday we had our first bit ever. It was maybe 20 minutes, and they asked me for a model that would have the information about carbon, and I only sent this model 30 minutes ago. Was it? But I could have sent yesterday, but we like to prove things, right? So that's why.
I was wondering, Jordana, did you do it on purpose to sort of?
Yeah, let's see how good they are.
The proof is in the pudding. So I get some feedback from the app builder. So it's about an OAuth integration. Raoul, could you explain a little bit about this, how this integration works?
Yes, definitely. So the Revit model is in Autodesk Construction Cloud. So that's a web service by Autodesk. And in order to basically talk to that service, you need to authenticate. And you can do that by means of OAuth2. That's an authentication protocol, basically. So that has been set up already. So you just select it. And then with that information, now the app builder can generate the code to actually talk to the or retrieve data from Autodesk Construction Cloud specifically to, or from basically the hubs you have access to as a user, or as a builder in this case.
Cool. Yeah. So what I did, Jordana, just between 30 minutes ago and now, I uploaded the Revit model that you sent on our ACC environment, as you can see over here. What it now basically does is that as was mentioned before, we have all kinds of components in our Victor environment, like the authentication, but also we have components with which you can do things with Autodesk, like for example selecting a file from ACC, and we also support the APS viewer. So the large language model, the app builder basically understood that those are handy things to do. So let's see if it actually works. Well, so this is, let's say, the first app. So let's see if it works. So I can now navigate through my hubs that I have available and navigate to the file where I placed the file. So this is the one. And then here I can visualize.
That's my model.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
And maybe to again, I think it's really nice because I love that part if you show the code.
Yeah.
How condensed the code is that's being generated. Reflecting back on the question, what makes Victor different with respect to other AI builders?
Yeah. So this is the code behind your app, Jordana. So basically, it's really short. It's just 34 lines of code. And that it uses the element of the Autodesk file field, and also we support the Autodesk view. And as you can see, it's just a few lines of code to get to this app. So I think that's a nice first start. And then I think, so there should be a property in here somewhere, right?
Yes, carbon factor at the end. Probably at the end.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. Okay, so
That's
this is what we are looking
perfect.
for.
That's it.
Okay, nice. Okay, so that's at least the first step. So I think as a sort of a step in between, what I would like to do is to first list, let's see if we can group all the elements by family. So let's do that as a second prompt where we can say, okay, can you
It's by type.
Maybe in the meantime that you're typing out the prompt and that we'll be waiting for the result. Jordana, I'm curious, within your work, as a BIM manager, how often are you making tools in your work, and how do you assess if they are making the right impact for your organization?
That's a great question. And actually, we were discussing that with WSP earlier. We would love to create more tools, but we don't have the team, we don't have the support, the resource that is necessary to build tools from scratch. So I'm building tools when I go out for hackathons, when I have the resource, the team. Typically in hackathons, you can get the help that you need. But in the corporation world, it's hard to have data scientists or someone that can code. So in reality, we don't develop that many tools as we wanted.
So that's a typical situation which we mentioned in the beginning, that you have the time and skills situation which makes it complicated for you to make those tools. But in a sort of ideal world, you would be, so in the ideal world that you have, let's say, the time and skills, so how often would you make tools on a project?
Oh, yesterday before our meeting, I told you I had a meeting with some engineers from Brazil, WSP Brazil, and they had at least 4 use cases that they were really interested of getting some help to develop these tools. So demand we have, every day someone come with, can you automate this? Can you automate that? And the answer is typically no, or we're gonna search if there is anything created for that, but typically, especially for engineering, it's hard to find things out there available in the web or that we can access.
So in the meantime, we also get a question from Cobus. Can this be used to create cards for use with the Insights dashboard in ACC? Do you know? I'm not familiar with create cards.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. And I think to create cards, I guess that's sort of a dashboard. I'm actually not really 100% familiar with this. So I can't answer that question. It's definitely something that we can dive into. So in the meantime, so that's what you get with live demos. Basically, it gives an error. So let me just go back to the earlier revision. And maybe so in the meantime, so I think we knew this was quite challenging. Maybe also to explain a little bit what I was doing in the meantime. So basically, Autodesk has all kinds of APIs now available with which you can extract information from the data model. And this is, so I gave it a bit more, let's say, context about how it can use this by adding this llm.txt file. So if you're listening and you want to do something with this, then I can recommend to add this. This is something that we are now also building in the app builder that actually it gets this by default. But then in the meantime, what I will just show you, but because I have been working a little bit just prior to the meeting on getting this, and this is where I got so far. So what I basically, and so it took me just a little bit more than 5 minutes. But let me just show you where we are, where I got just prior to this meeting. So I'll select the model. And basically, it's now can first of all retrieve the elements. So basically, what it's doing now on the background, it's using the API to fetch all kinds of information from this model, and then in this case, sort it per family first to see the number of elements. I thought that would be, let's say, a good first step to see if we can extract that information. Do you think that's a good step, a first good step in the right direction, Jordana?
For sure. Oh, I have been trying that for 8 months. So
Okay.
that's we're talking about 20 minutes
Yeah.
of development.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. So this is at least okay. So I actually didn't. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So what do we see over here? So basically, it created a row per element. It counted the number of elements and the total volume, and then also the total length. So I think this is already quite nice. So this is a good first step. And as you can see, I can also sort them based on element count, for example. This is a nice step. So also one thing that I was trying is, okay, let's start with, so just to be perfectly honest, what I didn't mention or manage to do yet was to get the information from this property. And I think it's because it's under the other selection. I didn't manage to get that property out of it. But what I did manage to do, so let's see if this works. So we are here in the family. So let's say if I want to do a basic cost analysis, I thought, okay, what's quite a nice approach if you can enter the unit cost over here. So let's say if I just enter some families over here. Maybe the ones with biggest volume. Let's just start with these two. This case, because I heard you also mentioned something about the 2050 materials, right? So also,
yes.
What were you trying to do with? Can you explain a little bit with the 2050 materials combined with the model?
Yes, 2050 Materials is this platform that provides data about carbon, about materials that we use in the industry. Basically, what we do, we collect the data from there and send to our app in Revit. and that's how we catch. So basically, the Beam model provides the description about material. We send this description to the API with 25th material. We use AI to search the best match, and we send back it into
Nice.
Rabbit.
Okay.
And the same way we're planning with cost, we wanted to create an API, a connection with a cost platform that would provide cost. The cost is very challenging, and there's not a great database of cost yet that we got to know.
Yeah.
So the idea
and
here
then I
for
think,
the app, I see that we would have to connect maybe an Excel sheet provided by the company that already has their cost.
yeah, indeed. So I think, what you see here, I think there, Victor provides a really nice benefit is that, so maybe some people say, okay, why can't I just use Power BI to do this, right? So because you can also use that to visualize stuff. But I think the nice thing that you can do with Victor as well is that you can easily add information as well. So as you see over here, I added this extra parameters, which I can fill in. There's also standard revision management behind. So when you publish this app, you can add it to a project. And then basically there's also out of the box a database behind the app. And in that database, these cost parameters are then stored. And when you change it, you can update it. And also we have a user management system. So you can create a role, for example, where you can say, okay, only maybe the cost expert can update these parameters as well. Another way would indeed also that you can integrate it with something else. But maybe that's just to explain, how you could implement this. And what it did now, basically, it did so probably people now are saying, okay, this unit cost doesn't make any sense. But as you can see over here, it calculates cost based on the volumes. Next step would be the carbon analysis. So I was just before trying this out, so I don't think it works yet. But hopefully this already shows you, Jordana, that you can get to this point quite quickly. And I'm sure, with let's say probably another half an hour or so, we can definitely get to the point that we can extract the embodied carbon as well. Maybe it now pops up, but I would be surprised if it does. Okay. Well, okay. Almost. So it says 0. So I think it doesn't fetch it yet. What I was also working on is to display it in a nice dashboard. So I think that's also nice to know that in Victor, up till now, I think people mainly saw some tables and those kind of things, but we also have all kinds of components. And maybe this is something that might also be interesting for you, Jordana. So we have all kinds of components with which you can also create all kinds of dashboards to make these kind of visualizations, etc. Show stuff on maps. So all these kind of components are available, but also we have all kinds of downloads. So you can download it as an Excel sheet, etc. So with that, there are quite some things I think to be able to do. Well,
incredible.
Okay. So I think we have to wrap it up. We really would like to thank you, Jordana, for joining the webinar and providing the files and also doing this in a very short notice. So thank you for doing so and providing insights.
If I can just answer one thing, I have been seeing many questions about what's the difference between Victor and NAN or Victor and Lovable. I think the answer is clear here. It's just you want to reduce friction, and Victor is reducing friction for the niche of AC. It's already connected with the tools that we need.
Thanks for answering that one.
So I have experience with hackathons. Like that's what we are trying for.
And
I think
the best way to answer that question is also just try it yourself. So use the QR codes, go to the website and sign up for a testing free version, and then you will notice the difference. So there are many things to mention, and thank you for answering this question as well, Jordana. So I think we will continue celebrating here from our side. So the launch, we definitely made a big step. This is a big moment for us that we enable engineers to build apps within minutes instead of weeks. So that's something that you can test yourself as well. So let's celebrate. Please put the team on the screen as well. So so we will be joining you celebrating today, and hopefully we will see you maybe in follow-up conversations and get your feedback on using the app builder. So
please let us know. So when you try it out, please let us know what you think about the app builder. So we are working hard to improve it further. We have a very exciting roadmap as well. So there will be more webinars coming up, sharing more about the other stuff that we are building. So please let us know what you think about it, and then we will definitely take it into account in our further developments.
Big congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody for attending. Bye-bye.
Bye.